Hello YouTube, what is up? This is ACNL Insight bringing you a gameplay video of Animal Crossing New Horizons. It's just going to be a day one video, just going over some of the things you can do on day one. Now I started after 5 a.m. so it's like officially only day one material. Technically, if you start before 5 a.m., that's when their days change over for the events at least. Even though it says, like it'll say, if you bought the game today, March 20th, 2020, it'll say, the date at midnight, but it doesn't actually change over any events or if you have like constructions or anything until 5 a.m. So here, just they ask you for like the name and birthday. They're introducing the theme of the game, which is going to be you're on a desert island. So starting fresh, and you're able to customize a lot more in this game. I was actually surprised that I liked it so much because I love Animal Crossing New Leaf so much, and when I saw just like the small trailers that I did, I didn't like want to look too much because I knew I was going to play it anyways, but I was really satisfied with the gameplay so far. So here I'm just showing you the different customization options for a boy. The boy and the girl styles, or I guess the feminine and masculine styles, actually look exactly the same. And I don't think they use like any gender pronouns in the game. They just say your name. So, it shouldn't infect your gameplay at all. It'll just start you with a character, like randomly generated that may look more feminine or more masculine. The t-shirts are randomly generated when you start the game. I believe there's like 4 or 5 different t-shirts you can get, or the shirts, but I wouldn't worry too much about that because as the game progresses, you're going to be able to buy clothes and things like that. But here I'm just going over all the different eyes you can get, and the different colors and things like that. The customization, you can unlock more as well, so as you progress through the game, you're going to be able to get more hairstyles, you're going to be able to get more faces and things like that. The noses, there's not that much selection, but they're fine enough, I think. And then you can choose to have blush on your face if you'd like as well. So we'll just go with this character here and then be on our way. So I'm gonna skip the cutscene they have at the beginning of the game after you make your character, just so you guys know, just because I didn't want to waste any time. If you guys want, I can take a video of that separately and post it, but I'm sure there's videos of it, and it's probably just the trailer footage too, for the game. So let's see. This northern and southern hemisphere business just means that there's going to be different seasons at different times of the year, whether you live in an island in the northern or the southern hemisphere. It'll ask you first where you live, and it will say like, oh, we suggest this if you want it to match, but obviously you can decide something different and go based off of the southern hemisphere if you live in the northern, or vice versa. So I did choose to go to the southern hemisphere just to show you guys a little bit something different if you are in the northern hemisphere. And then also just because I have another copy of the game that I already started, and I just kept it the same as I live in North America, so I'm in the northern hemisphere. But here for the maps, they only give you a selection of 4. You can have different ones generate. So if you like restart your game, they'll be different, but you can change a lot about your town. So I wouldn't worry about this too much, except the first couple of days you can only play in like the bottom half of that map where the river cuts it off. So if you are concerned about not being able to like reach a lot of your beach, or like maybe not being able to reach a lot of trees, then I would definitely try to pick one that has like a bigger bottom, but it's just going to be for a couple of days because they let you have like the pole vault in the future, so you're not going to have too much of an issue moving forward. You'll be able to pole vault and then build bridges later on as you progress. So again, here they're gonna say that we're gonna show you guys a little clip, but I decided to skip this. If anyone cares, just let me know and I'll post a video, or I'm sure you can find it on YouTube. And then When you come over your island, it'll show you what fruits you have on your island. You can have native to your island cherries, apples, oranges, pears, or peaches. Um, and then you can also get fruits later on as you progress through the game. There should be tropical fruits and things like that that you'll be able to plant around as well. So here I have peaches in my town, and then we're gonna come out. You only start with 2 villagers to start, and for some reason, the koala Canberra, we kept getting her. So I have Canberra on my game, and then 2 of my friends have her. I'm wondering, I didn't do a lot of research into this. I did restart a few times just to see if that answer to the question, what would you bring to a deserted island, if it was just like one thing, if it impacts which villagers you get. I believe when I got Canberra, I said that I wanted food, but I'm not sure because I tested out, but I didn't like write it down because I feel like you'd have to do a lot of research since there's just so much of a pool of villagers. But I just thought it was strange that we all 3 of us got Canberra in our village. So here, Tom's kind of explaining what's going on, and you'll be able to kind of work with him to kind of build up this island, and he'll give you instructions. So right now, you get a tent from Timmy and Tommy. You'll place your house. I have a lot of cuts in this video to make it a little bit shorter. I think all in all, I might have played up to 4 hours, but I think it was like more like 3 or something like that. But I cut the video down as much as I could, trying to go over like some of the most important stuff. So basically, I just wanted to show you guys, and I know they put it in the trailer too. You can put your tent on the beach, which you weren't able to put a house on the beach previously. So if you want to like mix it up, then that would be, you know, one way to do it. I just want to like have my house over in this section. At the very beginning of the game, you don't have that many resources, so it's a little bit of a struggle sometimes to get up to the, you know, upgrades for the from the tent to the house, and then to pay anything else off. So as much as I can in the beginning, I try not to chop down any trees by planting the tents there. So you can do what you like, but if you do have trees there, I would suggest at least shaking the fruits off of it if there are fruits on there, because again, at the beginning you have kind of like a struggle. At least to me, there's more of a struggle. When I first started the game, I felt like the game felt a little slow on my other count, but I think from being able to like progress like as far as I did in that video, this is able to maybe like help me pinpoint what is actually pushing the progression of the game forward, to be able to like, you know, get the museum set up and to get the you know, payment of your house paid off and unlock some of the features that are put behind walls that are kind of just like you might not know to do something right away. So right now, like, I planted my tent, I planted the other guy's tent, and then I tried to see what this other, you know, maybe you should reconsider it thing did, but it's gonna just be basically like your cancel option for, you know, what, either telling her to move there, telling her that you'll pick a spot, or that last one is just a cancel option. I thought maybe it would like bring another villager in, like, oh, well, maybe I won't live here then, but I guess we're not, you know, that mean. It's fine. So here, I pick another spot so that they can be kind of close together, my villagers. And yeah, take a good look around before you, you know, put them down if you want. I'm not 100% sure if you can customize, like, later on after they live there, if you can move their tents in the future. I haven't done too much research on this game, honestly, because I just want to kind of experience it for myself. But I will say, so right now they're getting ready for, you know, night times. They're gonna have a bonfire, so he'll ask you to get 10 tree branches and teach you how to pick it up. You just walk in front of it, press Y, and then he'll also tell you to get 6 of your native town fruit so he can make juice with it, and that'll start the bonfire scene. But I will say, if you do like shake your trees and get your fruits, try to save them if you can to sell them in a village that doesn't have the same town fruit, just because you get 5 times as much. So if you sell your native fruit in your town, then you get 100 bells, but if you sell one of your fruits in another town, you actually get 500. So it's a pretty big difference. So if you can hold off to sell it in another person's town, then I would definitely do that, just because, you know, 5 times the amount is it's a pretty big deal, especially this early on in the game. And then the trees grow back, like, it used to be every 3 days, the fruits at least. So if, you know, that's the case, you can like save them up if you can't make them on time, and you can obviously pawn some off if you need to, but I would say big batches to try to save for other towns. So right now they're just gonna have a bonfire and like drink some juice and basically introduce you to the game. So this part of the game is not linked to your real time for like how the time is in your area. All of the time is going to be synced to the time in your Switch. So based on the time zone that you select and the region that you select, if you want to time travel, you can just change that time in your Switch to progress the day. And in previous Animal Crossing games, even if you progress the day backwards, it would, you know, move the events forward. Not event specific days, obviously, but like, for example, if, you know, someone said they're moving out on a certain day and you move back in time to prevent that from happening, that's not going to prevent them from moving out. It's just going to progress certain elements of the game. And then obviously if there's special days like April Fool's Days or something, it has to be April 1st to, you know, be that day. So yeah, in regards to time travel, I don't know what happens if you time travel. It used to be, you know, your villagers would call you a time traveler, and then they would also, the grass would be a little bit worn down, but as far as I know, the grass in this game won't wear down at all, and you can't like crush flowers by running through them or anything. So if you want, you can just, you know, whenever you're walking places, just hold down B. I haven't heard anything otherwise, so we'll see, I guess, over time. So I'm just talking to the villagers here and making sure that they, you know who I am, I guess. Sometimes they say some pretty funny stuff, so that's obviously one of the best traits of Animal Crossing is there's so many different villagers. They're all got different personalities and say different things, so it's pretty cool when you meet like the different ones, and they'll say some weird and funny things. So here we're just going to set up the cot. When you go to your house, there's going to be some boxes, I mean your tent, I guess. There's going to be some boxes for you to like, I guess, open. I don't know why that was so hard, but yeah, they're gonna give you the lamp, and then they're gonna give you a radio. The radio can be a different color as well. I'm not 100% sure if the lamp color changes, but the cots can also be a different color, so it's kind of random, which is kind of fun, I guess. Then when you lay down, you actually have a cutscene for when you sleep, and it's going to like reformat the game to be according to what the time is in the Switch. So you know, if you start the game and then you pass this cutscene, which I'm skipping, just, you know, because it takes a minute. Also, if anybody wants to like have a, you know, no spoiler on that, It's a previous character from the other game, so let's see. Now we're getting called out by Tom Nook, and he explains that, you know, it's now based on whatever time you have on your Switch. And then also, he's going to give you a couple of things here. So he gives you, like, the phone, which you'll have a lot of apps on, and it's going to basically, like, allow you to have a lot of information on you without being, like, you know, having a bunch of things in your inventory, which is nice. Or, like, having to go to, like, press a lot of different buttons or go to a lot of different menus. So when we go here, it's really simple to use it, and it shows up on your screen a lot if there's anything new. So if you have any notifications, it'll tell you to open it and things like that. So there's no, like, need to worry about, you know, oh, like, I haven't checked my phone. How do I do that again? It's just gonna be the LZ button, and then they're gonna, you know, have that on the screen anyways for you. So basically he's explaining the miles in the game. So miles is just another form of currency. It's basically going to be based on what I would call achievements in the game. So, you know, for catching a certain number of fish, you get miles. Fish or bugs. For shaking trees and, like, random events, like, when you shake the trees, sometimes a leaf will fall down. If you pick up that leaf, then it's gonna give you a, like, miles for it. And then it's just, like, a bunch of things in the game that you're pretty much gonna do anyways. You're just gonna get rewarded for it. And then you get a couple of letters in the mail. So you get one from Nintendo, actually 2 from Nintendo. So it's gonna be, like, a Switch and a recipe for a, like, at-home do-it-yourself crafting station. So here we're just gonna go talk to Tommy, which in this game, if you notice, Tommy will be holding a flag in the game. I believe that's how they're differentiating them in this game, where I don't think they really did in the past, but at least today on day 1, Tommy is holding a flag. I don't know if they're gonna try to, like, pull a juke or something like that, and, like, Timmy's holding the flag tomorrow or something, I don't know, but I thought that was kind of cute. So when you come in and talk to Tom, he's gonna basically explain the workshop that you can use to craft things. It's actually really simple. You don't have to think too hard. It just tells you how much of what item you need to craft, and you even have, like, it in the app. So he'll let you have an app on your phone that will pretty much give you the number of items you need to craft a certain, like, equipment or furniture or what have you. So how to get recipes. You get a lot by just progressing the game. You also get some when you talk to your villagers. For example, one that you might not get unless you did this was, so for medicine, which cures you of, like, a sting bite, or if you're sick, or I guess if other villagers, if they get sick with the flu or something, then you're able to make medicine or buy medicine and give it to them, or cure your own, like, bee sting. So to do that, you can get stung in the face, and if you talk to a villager, they'll be like, oh no, like, if only I had medicine to give you, and then instead they'll give you a recipe. From what I've seen, you should also get, like, a hat if you speak to one of the villagers, and then you should also be able to, sometimes they'll give you, like, clothing or furniture or things like that. So make sure to talk to your villagers when you can, especially, like, just to, like, build up a rapport with them and things like that. So here he's teaching me how to build and craft the, like, I craft the fishing rod and the net. I take a picture here just because I know that it will give the miles for it. So pretty much anything that you can do in the game will give you miles. So now if I look in this little mile section here, which explains, you know, you earn Nook miles for doing certain things. So then if you like, just by playing the game, you know, you'll get that because you've accepted the package and you've accepted being part of the miles program. But this is the one for the photos. You get 300 for taking a photo for the first time. And then if you look here, this is where all your crafted recipes or crafting recipes will be. So if you don't know what you need to make something, you can look there. Here would be the passport. So you can like take a, you know, change your pictures and stuff like that, and add some like text for your profile. And then there's a map of your area, and then like the different residents that live there, and then custom designs you can use to make like flags, or you can wear them as shirts and hats and things like that. And then this last thing is for an emergency service. Basically, if by some mishap you're stuck on your island somewhere, you can call them and they will basically transport you back here or to your home, depending probably on which one's closer. So here, I'm gonna craft again the net. And these will break over time, but you can get, you know, better recipes as well. But for what we're doing today, I think this will be good enough. You might have to craft a few of them each, depending on, you know, if you're fishing or catching bugs more. For the store, when you talk to Timmy, you'll be able to like buy furniture. It's random every day. And then this miscellaneous section won't be random. So you'll be able to get this stuff pretty much regularly. So the recipes in there you can purchase, and then there's, you know, flour bags, and you know, if you don't want to make the recipe or craft your own equipment or are in a pinch, then you can just buy them there as well. But obviously it'll cost more to buy it than to craft it for free after you get the recipe. So here there's like this little machine in the corner, and it has quite a few features. If you are able to progress later and buy a house, then it adds a new feature as well, which we'll be going over in this video. So here it's just showing some of the shopping goods that you can buy through this app or this machine. Since I don't have any bills, I'm not able to buy anything, but I do like collecting the KK Slider music, so I tried to buy it even though I don't have any money, but it didn't really work out. So from Nintendo, you get the Switch and the do-it-yourself workbench. Now this you can make and have, you know, anywhere else on the island. So if you don't want to come back to this tent every time to craft, then you can definitely just, you know, make a workbench and put it like next to your house, or put a few around. So, you know, whenever your equipments break, you can build a new one. There are, like I said, like there's a lot of unlocking better things in this game, so you can unlock better tools in this game as well, the recipes for them, and then craft those instead. But there are also miles that you can get, so there's achievements for breaking a certain amount of equipments as well. So honestly, you know, it's not like breaking the equipment is all bad. You actually get miles from breaking a certain amount. So here I went out and I fished, and I caught bugs, mostly caught bugs, but so when you give him 5 bugs or fish, any combination, you should be able to unlock the museum like plot, so it'll, you know, be built the next day. Excuse me. But basically, with that, the first time you give him a bug or a fish, after you catch it, like the first one of that type, you're going to be able to get something from him. So he gives you the little encyclopedia. And you'll be able to kind of see when certain bugs and fish can be caught during the year and what times they spawn and things like that. So it's pretty useful, and the pictures in the encyclopedia, I'll show you later, are a little bit like too realistic, but I mean, they paid attention to detail, but some of them, the bugs especially, creep me out a little, but I guess that means it's a good job, right? Alright, and then the second one, pretty much for each time you give him a new bug or fish, it's up to 5 times, he's gonna give you something new. So for the first one, you get the little encyclopedia, and then for the next one, you get something regarding the like do-it-yourself crafting area. So he'll actually send directly to your phone a recipe for an axe, which is super helpful, especially this early in the game. So I think when I first started, I might have said this, it felt a little slow getting into the game, but I think it was just because I didn't ask Tom Nook what I needed to do. So if you're ever confused on what you need to do, just ask Tom and he will give you hints towards that. So right now, I'm giving him my 3rd bug. That's, you know, a new bug, and it's going to give, he's going to give me 5 bags of flowers for me to plant. And then for the 4th one, he's going to give me a recipe for the watering can so that I can, you know, water those plants and stuff without paying for the watering can from Timmy. And then the 5th one actually is going to be the one that unlocks the plot of land for the museum. So you do have to place that down somewhere. It's pretty long, but I would say, you know, you can find a good spot for it, and I'm not sure again if you can move the buildings later on, or if, you know, the customization that they were talking about in this game was just based on, you know, being able to put your villagers where you want without having to like reset your game with the villager reset trick from the previous game. So yeah, basically if you guys do catch like the bugs and fish that are new, like that you don't have previously, I would suggest throwing them on the ground too after you catch them near the museum, because now you can put anything on the ground pretty much. So you can, you know, throw the cages of or the tanks of bugs and fish near the museum, so when it actually opens you can go in and donate those. I usually just try to do the first of every bug or fish just so I don't, you know, get confused and think, oh yeah, because it's in my encyclopedia, I have it in my museum. But I'm not 100% sure if like there'll be a separate marker for it in the encyclopedia. So like that says you've caught this but you haven't donated it. There wasn't in the previous, so that's just, I guess, a habit of mine to make sure that every time I catch the first one that I donate it. Now obviously if you're like trying to make money and you like catch the butterflies or something like that, it's not going to be that much of an issue. You can catch like the common butterflies or yellow butterflies pretty frequently. Now I don't remember if I mentioned to you, since this is the fall season for me in the southern hemisphere, the bugs are going to be different that I caught, so you're not going to be able to catch some of the things that I caught. Like I don't think a lot of the beetles or the grasshoppers or locusts that I caught were part of the spring season. There's a lot more butterflies and things like that in there. So for this part, I asked him what to do next since I wasn't sure. So he just told me to garden. Now all of the things again that you're doing is going to earn you miles towards paying off your tent and, you know, future upgrades and things like that. So basically I plant these in front of my little tent area, and then I guess I'll test, because by the way, if you didn't notice, all of these are weeds. All of the plants on the ground, besides these plants that I'm planting right now, they're all gonna be weeds. Some of them don't look too terrible, and I don't think in this game they're gonna say anything, because in previous games, you know, a lot of the villagers might have said something negative towards the weeds, but actually some of them look nice. So if you like the look of the weeds, for certain ones, you know, you can leave them and you shouldn't have any like negative side effects or something. But they did make it to where, you know, you get 10 bells per weed if you do want to like sell them too. So that was a neat feature. So here I'm just showing you like the different things that I picked up. So that one was for getting 10 recipes and learning them. And then I'm just gonna show you in the Critterpedia. Like I said, the actual pictures of them are a little bit like too realistic for me, but hey, like you can't say they did a bad job. So you know, maybe, you know, you can argue that it's educational and stuff. But this is nice because it tells you like what months you can get it in depending on your season too. So I believe it'll be different for others who are in the northern and southern hemisphere. It'll be different for each hemisphere, which bugs can be caught in which months, obviously because the seasons are different during those times. And then I go over to the bulletin board and I kind of speed this up because it took me forever to even write this short message. But basically I just wanted to show you, you can draw on here. So if you want, you could just set up this to, you know, be a written message by like your hand or something. Obviously, like I'm using my dock, so I just did that with my controller. I think if you have like a stylus or something that can work with the Switch, or if you even use your finger, it'll be a lot easier to draw on that, obviously. But I just did that to show you. You get points for doing that too, for writing on the bulletin board. And you also will be able to kind of like, I don't know, just build up to the 5,000 miles. So now I'm just going and paying off the 5,000 miles. And the 4 different colors here, I just picked blue. My other house is going to be a black one. And then with the purchase of the house, you're going to be part of a couple new programs, and you're going to unlock basically new features of the game. So when you buy your, pay off your first like 5,000 bells, you'll be able to access a new app in your, or a new section of your phone. And then you're also going to be able to redeem your miles for other rewards besides just paying off your upgrades with Tom Nook. So here I'll open it up a bit and show you guys. I do buy one of these later on as I'm finishing up this video, so I'll show you that. Sorry, I was having a little issue with my controller there. So Nook Miles ticket, it basically means you go to a random island and it's going to let you, you know, destroy it if you want. Like you can harvest all the things you want from it, leave it in disarray, because that it's just like a random island that just exists for that time, and then you leave it. So the one I was interested in is this tool ring, because I wanted to know how it worked, because you can already kind of cycle through your items, your equipment, by pressing the D-pad or the buttons for left and right for the Switch. And then for the merchandise, I just wanted to show that off too. So here's where you can like unlock some of the hairstyles, the hair colors and things like that too. So you just have to like save up some miles and pay for it. But right before I finish this video, I am going to buy this tool ring to kind of like see what that's about, since like it's a new feature that I haven't seen before. And it sounds like it could be useful. So and here I just go back and buy a couple of things that I wanted to purchase when I first logged into this. So yeah, again, for everything you're doing in the game, even when you purchase things, you're gonna be getting miles for it. So even if you feel like you're not like doing much in the game, you're always going to be rewarded for anything that happens in the game. So I guess they did a good job of making it feel like you're accomplishing stuff, because I don't know, like you're kind of just chilling on an island. Here's the other feature that there is. So there's gonna be 5 basically like achievements that you can do. They're always gonna be up there. So I'm gonna take this picture here for that last achievement on there. And I'm just gonna keep calling them achievements because like you're rewarded with miles for those, you know, doing certain things. I think we can call that an achievement. Even if it's like something super small, like take a picture. So here we take a picture and it gets replaced. So basically, if you're not able to get those big miles through the other game or the other achievements, then there will be rotating achievements so that you can like build them up faster, and they're just always gonna, you know, repopulate. So that's a pretty nice feature as well. But that's pretty much gonna be it for this video. I guess I forgot to put the tool thing in here. Maybe in the next video I will show that off. It's basically when you press up, you have like a rotating circle of what equipment you can use. So instead of like pressing right and left a bunch of times, it'll just go directly. You can hit the button over to that specific one and pull that one out. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you guys like more, maybe comment. I'm not sure if I'm going to make this a series or anything. I just really wanted to make this. Thanks. Have a great day, guys. Bye.